Specializing in one skill can help you avoid multiple jobs. Don't go down the path I went down. Sharing my experience. I know a lot of people are saying when they graduate college, they don't have uh, the jobs or the people are getting laid off. I've been there, been laid off as well. Definitely not a good feeling. But as soon as you can, as efficient as you can, find a skill in the area that you live in the city that you live in, that has value that you can do and you can specialize in that skill. Why am I saying specialize in one skill? The cost of job juggling. I went through this in my early 20s. Because I didn't specialize in a skill, I was kind of all over the place. I first started working in retail, then kind of went into automotive, maybe like detailing cars 1 minute, working the jobs, changing tires another minute. Then I got in the medical field, was working in a hospital, was a lab courier. Anybody can do that job. It's a general skill job. Then I went to Red Cross, was a lab courier for them, a blood courier from like Little Rock to Jonesboro. Then I lost that job, went to school. Then it started to click. I specialized. First, I got a certificate to kind of just get in there, and I still use that to this day. Automotive, collision, like body collision, stuff like that. But I specialized in the information technology field. And what I would say is find a field that has a lot of options in it so you won't have to juggle, move around in different jobs and different fields. And that goes into the next topic, right? Why general skills limit your income. So when they say general skills, let's say cashier, general skill. Work at a cash register, somebody give you money, put in there how much change they get. They owe you 550, put in the machine, they gave you 550, they give you a 20, give them the change back. Not It's not a specialized skill. Working in retail, most of the jobs are not specialized skill unless you get into management. Anything under management is considered general skills. Customer service representatives, general skills. Is there anything wrong working these skills? No, but you want to increase your skills. And one thing I'll say is when you become an adult, you either losing time or you're gonna gain time based on the things that you do. You can either specialize or you can get lost in the shuffle or just doing general jobs. I've been there. Not fun. Because what happens is you'll work the job and you go through the honeymoon phase. And after a year or two in it, you realize the money that you're making is not enough to sustain you as an adult. Ask me how I know. When you pay your bills and you only got $300 left over until the next time you get paid, ask me how I know. General skills, high competition. A lot of people are working general skill jobs. That's why I say specialize. So you move, you start to elevate, less competition because nobody wants to put in the extra work. Sometimes when you don't get scholarships, you don't go to school after high school, you got to figure it out. What can I do to develop myself and get a specialized skill? And what I would say is sometimes you have to work and go to school. You got to do both, depending on your situation. Sometimes you have to do that. I had to do that. I had to work full time, go to school full time if I wanted to elevate and increase my chances of success. I had to do that. Doing it right now. Matter of fact, I think the NBA classes start next week. So don't get stuck in that general skill range because it's so easy to get stuck into it. The power of specialization. When you specialize in something, let's say for me, specializing in IT. Anybody who work at a retail place, right? You up on your feet all day. Have you doing random stuff. One day you're folding clothes. Next day you're back in the stock room. Another day they got you doing something else. When you specialize in something, that's all you do is what you specialize in. And the reason why I say pick a field that has many options in information technology, I probably work just about every field, probably other than cybersecurity, but help desk, system administrator, um, enterprise web developer. Now I'm doing a version of programming. So I done worked about just about every level. The only thing I'm looking forward to now, probably later, is like in leadership, management, stuff like that. And that's probably when I get done with school, but because I'm still in school. But there are many things that you can pivot to in IT, and depending on the area, that's what's going to determine. Depending on the value that you bring, that's going to determine that. But there is power in specialization. They pay more. It be in high demand because a lot of people just don't want to do it. You'd be surprised. The more you specialize in something, the harder it is to for a company. Still can, but it's a little bit harder because it's a specialized thing, and they may not replace you as fast as somebody with a general skill. I know in Little Rock, IT, every company that wants to survive has to have an IT infrastructure, or you won't survive. You got to have a network. You got to have computers, laptops. You got to have servers in place for account management, VPN management, all those things. You got to have somebody that can help the end users solve problems like updating applications. Laptop is acting wonky. They need it fixed. They need more RAM installed. Need the latest Windows installed. All those things. But when you specialize, and I would say start out, if you want to get in IT, start out in IT support so you can kind of see the whole scope of it, and then you kind of find something to stick that you want to specialize in. So, examples of high value specializations. Cybersecurity is kind of, even though it's been out for a while, but it just kind of exploded. If that's for you, I would say find something that fits your personality. If you like to read a bunch of material, you like to keep up with trends on your free time, cybersecurity might be for you. A lot of reading articles, a lot of keeping up with like cyber attacks and stuff like that. It's a lot of head work to go into it. It's not as easy as it sounds. If you don't like to read on your spare time, you don't like to look up these things, it could be a struggle depending on the position. It's a lot of nuance to some of this stuff when you specialize in something. You think about in IT, high value, right? VM, virtual computing, VMware, Proxmox, learning how to manage it Most jobs is already installed. You have to know how to manage it. How do you maintain the virtual machine? Do you add more RAM here? Do you have to pull some back? Do you have to restart it for them? How do you get inside the actual head machine that runs all the virtual machines? AWS, well, them is virtual servers. Web development used to be really booming, but it's still specialized 'cause a lot of people don't like coding. Especially like I know a lot of people use WordPress, but I think there's still a market out there for people who like to do the coding and the VS Code and stuff like that. Most time it's freelance stuff, but it can be done. You want to find something that you can do without getting complacent or bored, that has value, and you can either do it in the job market or you can freelance and do it on your own. It's all about individual drive, determination, and will. Or like I say, SECM, skill set, education, communication, mindset. So my story of juggling jobs to specializing in the IT field. When I was younger, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't know. If you would have told me I'd be working in IT, I probably would have said, yeah, right. But I was trying to figure it out, worked many of jobs. And what I will say is before I got into IT, for me, it wasn't the jobs, it was the people, bad management sometimes. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm flawed too. But most of the managers that weren't micromanagers or managers that gave you a fair deal, fair shake, we didn't have any issues. The ones who are controlling, try to micromanage you, those are the ones that have issues. But you got to realize that the person that hired them may want them to be that way or they wouldn't have hired them. They like their personality, and that's fine. You have to be able to learn, observe, and learn, have awareness. Emotional intelligence, very important. But I learned all these things on the bottom end before I got into IT, working in different jobs. But when I specialized in IT, my last general skill job, I was working at the airport as a shuttle driver full time, and I was going to school full time. I think I was working like 2 to 11 or something, or 3 to 12, it was something like that. And I would go to school in the daytime, then I would get off and then go there, go home, take a nap, then go to work. And I remember the day that I started at the ISP place. I didn't even think it was real. Great. The job was great. Like I said, it's the people that you have to not get caught up in. You got to really have the emotional intelligence. You have to be mentally and spiritually flexible enough to not let it bother you. If you can get to that place where you can be flexible and not let it bother you, you can do just about anything because there is no way I will ever tell you that you're going to find a job that all the boxes are checked. It's like a Haley's Comet kind of job. But when you're a husband, father, and you taking care of your family, I understand. I'm flexible enough to realize that when jobs I work at, I'm probably not gonna like everything. But if I can get 8 out of 10, I can live with the two that I probably don't care for. Just a tip. But when I specialized in IT, it made me realize when you specialize in something, you do that one particular area that you specialize in. You don't have to be all over the place. Like in systems, you specialize in account management, a little bit of PowerShell, depending on the company, a little bit of Linux, but everything's server based. You can almost make a script. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about this. You can almost make a script on everything that you do over and over. If it's the same thing over and over, you can make a template almost. Programming, same thing. When I stopped juggling jobs and I specialized in IT, I haven't looked back. But it's other fields out there. If you do the research, there are other fields out there you can specialize in. But that's what I chose. That's where I'm at. I don't have no complaints. I wish I would have done it sooner. But not having that exposure when you're younger to that kind of field, you kind of got to get to that place. And that's why I make the content to try to give kids that insight that there are options out there. Even if you don't have the resources to go to college right off the bat or any school, you can work, save your money, and go to school or go take one class a semester. You don't have to do a full load in college. You can take literally one class a semester. And I think probably like $400 a credit hour or something. Just take one class a semester until you can do more. And when you go to if you go to school or if you go to anything, specialize in a skill that makes sense in the area that you live in. You have to do that. General degrees or general skills don't pay as well. It's the specialized skills that pay. And the information is out there. I'm telling you, look it up. It's out there. I'm telling you, the sooner you specialize, the difference you will see in the kind of jobs you get, even in the kind of tasks that you do. It don't even feel like work as much. It just feel like something you just solving problems. I know for me, I like solving problems. I don't like dwelling on problems. I like coming up with solutions. So IT fit my personality. Find something that fit your personality. I'm telling you, and you will feel like you're not working. It'll feel like something you do every day. So if you like the content, be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you think. Thanks for everybody who's been watching. Mike Motivation, CTM Content, Thinking Game Podcast, CTM Sports. Thank you for all the support that you've given. I'll say the new people who watching this, please hit the subscribe button. Help us grow our channel. And we appreciate all the support. It don't cost nothing to subscribe. And let me know in the comments thinking about making a Patreon where I can really get in depth and talk about things. But let me know. Thanks for watching. And I am signing out.